This video is a replay of a trade I took today. Now, it probably goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. I am not a financial advisor, and trading entails risk. Just because I got these results today doesn't mean that I can get these every day, nor that you can. Remember, the entire premise of the investing project and the $1 million experiment is that I am not an expert, and yet I am learning how to do this. So for heaven's sake, don't just blindly copy me. Instead, find a mentor, someone who is an expert, and join their community. Pay for their mentorship. This approach has worked very well for me, and it likely will for you too. So use this video partly as education and partly as inspiration. After all, if I can learn this, you can too. So a lot of activity today, not a ton of output, but we'll walk through it. The first thing we did today was grab the MYM.
Order filled.
This was a bit of a stretch. I ended up taking, I think, 100 and well, I think I left it at 100 handles of risk because I wasn't terribly convinced that this was going to do anything good. But it's kind of a shot. Certainly not an A+ setup. And in any case, it backfired. So actually, it was the wrong spot. 167. So it ended up taking me out for a full loss, and it did it pretty quickly. It was just too soon. So I ended up taking a $100 loss on that one. But then we walked, and then a bunch of stuff. I mean, it kept kind of melting down. You can see what's going on here with the MQ and with the ES. It just wasn't done going lower. But around 8 o'clock, just 7:51, so 9 minutes before 8, find the right time here. I ended up getting into the NQ. It looked like it was finally, after going down and down and down and down, and it looked for a moment here like it was trying to base and go up, but just couldn't do it. So it kept dropping, but it finally seemed like it was forming a bit of a base. And then at 7:51, I got in with a trade here, just the one contract. Let me see if I can find out where I did that. At 28,348 is where I got in. I don't want to miss this, so I'm actually going to put this in, even though I wasn't in yet. But we'll see how it actually develops. So if we, I'll go a little bit slower. So we let this go. Getting to the point here where I said, oh yeah, I said basically I would put it right above this here. So we ended up with three 5-minute candles. Once this beat that or lifted above that 3 5-minute candles, I took the trade. I left it with a 100-point stop. Still pretty wide stop, frankly, but I took it anyway. And then I started trailing the stop. Now I'm going to let me just see here how this is going to go, because I've got another position I'm going to be getting into on the ES shortly at 8:12. So let me just have a look here and see what we can see. I don't want to miss this. So you can see once it's moved 50 points in the right direction, it started trailing, and it trails right now. I've got it set to trail 70 points behind the stop, behind the top. And so it is, it's up there, it's trailing, and it ended up taking me out at 60 points, which is $120. It's not a huge amount, but it's not terrible either. But that's exactly what happened. So it ended up taking me out with a $120 gain, and that was fine. And then we ended up with a trade on the ES, which happened at 8:12. Let me just find the right spot here. 74.69 is where I got in. We're just about at that point now. I'm going to put the trade in here. I took it with 2 contracts. It might trigger sooner, but I didn't actually get in until 8:12, which is in about 4 minutes from now. So I'll let this go, and it might trigger sooner. We'll find out in a sec. But basically, I put it at this level that was just a bit above the high of day. So you can see here, this is I'm looking back to what was the high of day. Rather than just look at the previous candle, I ended up actually looking at it and saying, no, I want to be just slightly above that. I'm not seeing this actually doing anything here. I'm going to have to stop this. And yeah, for some reason, my data feed on the ES isn't working. I'm going to pause this video and fix that and come back. Okay, hopefully that should be fixed now. Yeah, so basically we're getting in at 74.69 on the ES with 2 contracts. We're getting in right around 8:12, so that's in about a minute and a half from now. And so here we are.
Bill.
We get in, and I just left the stop right there at the bottom of this little pivot, and we had the 2 contracts. It ended up that the first one triggered right at its level here, 74.89, 20 points, and that's a quick $100. And then the second one, I ended up actually moving this thing up, trailing the 5-minute stops. It's trailing the 5-minute candles. There we go. Now, for some reason, this is giving me trouble. I'm going to have to do this somewhere else. But you can see here as I move these up, I'm just going to change this to 5 minutes so I can see it properly here. But I continued to just follow this up, and then I guess it took me up. That actually is not really where I got out. I got out at 74.79 because I got an extra 10 points. So I think I must have been just 1 point below that. But long story short, I made 30 points on those 2 contracts in total for $150 gain, which again is not particularly anything to write home about. But the way this market's behaved, I'm just glad to be out of it with profit. So that's it for today.